Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg, and today we're going to be talking about Marx 490. This is the Marx 4905 set. This is what you got, minus of course the track and the transformer. Uh, the reason for me making this video today is that I need to eat a little crow. For those that have never heard that expression, it means I had to admit I was wrong. I'm a member of several online forums and online Facebook groups and stuff like that. And somebody posted, ironically, on the Lionel board that they had this 490 that would only go in reverse. And my ridiculous self, without thinking, I said, "Oh, the E unit is stuck," and I just posted that. Well, Marx 490 doesn't have an E unit, so if his is going backwards, that means somebody has somehow rewired it, because it doesn't matter which way you set this on the track or which way you connect the power to this, it's always going to go forwards. It's just that kind of motor because it's wired in series. Anyway, before we get started on that, if you guys think you're going to like this video, and you do find that you like it, go ahead and give us a like. That's how we figure out if you guys liked it, hated it, whatever. If you're not yet a member of our YouTube group, you can go ahead and subscribe. We really like it when people subscribe and become a member of our family. For those of you that are returning, that are our YouTube family, our subscribers, hello, thank you, welcome. We do appreciate you guys. We appreciate you coming back. So, all right, let's talk some more about this Marx 490. So, okay, this is the Marx 490. A lot of people like these and collect them. They are not particularly expensive to obtain. This is the Marx 4905 set. I believe I said that earlier. You'll notice that they do not have operating couplers. So the fact that this train doesn't go forwards and backwards doesn't make a lot of difference, because you're not going to be uncoupling and switching and all that good stuff. Now, one of the other things about this 490 is that it doesn't weigh a lot, and it's got a single reduction V1, which means that these wheels spin very quickly with very little reduction between the motor speed and the speed of the wheels. Now, that means that this is very light and very fast, but it also means that it doesn't have a lot of weight to grip the track. So in order to compensate for that, Marx did these, what they call four-wheel plastic cars, and they are very, very, very light. So, I mean, they're well made, they're okay. Once again, this wasn't the top of the line for Marx. This was for folks that may not have the means to get the higher end, but wanted a model train nonetheless. Now, Marx's philosophy was, to provide toys that people could afford. So this certainly falls in line with that philosophy. So, all right, now that I've eaten a little crow and I've told you what this is all about, what do you say we put this on the track, and I'll point out a few other things that I like and I don't necessarily like all that much about this particular Marx train. All right, so we have the Marx 490 engine with the Marx 4905 set, or the Marx 4905 set, I guess, would include all of this on the track. Now, one of the things that, I guess I should say that the Marx 490 locomotive was produced from 1962 to 1975. Because this has the plastic four-wheel cars, I'm thinking it's probably closer to 1975. But with Marx, you never know, because they were really good about producing things in a way that you weren't really sure when. So, I mean, I believe it to be closer to 1975, but I could be completely wrong. And I've already eaten crow once today, so yeah. In the model train world, I've learned a couple of things. There's never, or you should never say never, and you should never say always, because there'll be something there to contradict that. So, good advice. So, all right, I'm going to show you this in motion here in a minute, and then we'll talk about some of the reasons that I like and dislike this particular Marx train. once again, this was not a high dollar set, but I think once I get this going around the track, you'll agree that certainly it was, pleasing for people that just wanted to train. So anyway, let's get that going. Okay, we're about to make this go around the track, but I want to make a point of saying that this would have been a starter set, much like my first train, which was the Lionel 8302. I believe it was the Southern set. And I mean, had anybody told me up until the last 4 or 5 years that that was not in any way valuable, I would have probably not been very happy about that. But so keep it in perspective. Probably somebody grew up and they love this set, and I mean, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Okay, so let's see how this little guy goes around the track. He's pretty light, so we can't get him too fast. As you can see, it's nice, it's smooth. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's got kind of a choo-choo sound, a chugging sound. Now this Marx motor is similar to the older style. Of course, it doesn't have the E unit, which I sadly mistakenly said it did earlier. But and it's not exactly the same design. This doesn't mount the same way. It doesn't have the frame that the older one does, where it's held in by the 2 screws on the front. But overall, it's a nice little motor. It runs really smoothly. I've never gotten one of these that didn't work. For folks that are looking to possibly start a train layout of some sort, just on a budget, this is a really good start. To let you know if you really like it, or if it was a mistake for you to get into it, whatever. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit because I feel like it's going just a little too fast. All right. So now that I've shown you what I do like about it, which is its dependability, longevity, and agility, I'm going to show you some of the things that I don't like. Okay, guys, so you might notice that I switched the Marx 490 to a different track. Now, the difference between this track and the track it was on, well, first off, the track it was on was a Cargraves track, but you'll notice the Cargraves track is a little less high on the rails than the track that the Marx is on now. Now, the Lionel 027 track is actually in between those two, and this engine actually has a problem with the 036 track. If you've ever had a milk car with the platform, or the cattle car, I think probably more aptly the cattle car, where it has the sensor for the track, you may know that it had 2 sensors, one that was for the 027 track and one for the 036 track. And the difference was that the 036 track sensor was a little higher because the track was a little higher. So having said all that, obviously this 036 track is higher than 027. This particular Marx engine, unlike most of them, does not run well on the 036 track, and I'll show you what I mean. See, it's just the problem is that the pickup actually has it suspended off the track. So this is painful to watch, so I'm going to stop now. So that's one of the things I don't like. The other thing I don't like, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute, is if you put any kind of the normal, even the Marx cars behind it, it won't pull it. I mean, this has almost no pulling ability beyond the set that you see. All right, so we have the 490 back on the Cargraves track, and it's pulling what I would consider to be a fairly respectable train. This is about all this can pull. I can tell you that I was thinking about it during the switch to this track and these cars. This set would have come out about the same time as my Lionel Southern set, and I can tell you that as a kid, it was a big thrill to see how many cars it would pull. And I don't know if you guys can tell it, but this guy is kind of struggling to pull these. These are not heavy cars. These are the Marx 10 cars, and the wheels on the locomotive are spinning more than they're pulling. So I don't know. As a child, I would certainly have enjoyed the train, but I think I wouldn't have been particularly thrilled with the pulling capacity. I guess let's put it that way. Now, having said all that, this set does represents a piece of history, and if you simply just wanted a train to go around a Christmas tree, this would certainly be a great option. I mean, because they are durable as all heck. So I mean, everything has its place, right? So you know, all right. So well, this has been me eating some crow over the 490. Uh, it's not a bad engine. I mean, it's not anything to be ashamed of. I will tell you that you can find these for probably a $20 bill on eBay. Uh, if you look, they're pretty sturdy. They're pretty dependable, depending upon of course, how much they were used or how much they're played with, and in what way. Now, I will tell you that the 4905 set with the plastic cards that I showed you first, those may not be as great of an option, especially now. And the reason is, and I'll pick one of the cards up and I'll show you. Okay, so what's not so great about this 4905 set, or something that might be of concern to you, is that the cards are a very well. Let's just say that this plastic did not pass the test of time real well. So if you drop this car or it gets bumped in any way, it's going to probably break. So that is a consideration when you're buying something. Now, if you're simply gonna just run around the track like this, or not get rambunctious with it, it's probably just fine. Now, once again, these are very, very light, so depending upon your layout, these may not work for you. All right, guys, I think I'm finished eating crow on the the Marx 490 here. Uh, it is a good locomotive. I mean, it's not, once again, my favorite, but I mean it is an affordable option for people that just want to put a train around the Christmas tree, or just an occasional use, or heck, they're very durable. I mean, you could probably use this every day. So is it collectible quality? I don't know. I do know that people do collect these. So I mean, let's define collectible, right? It doesn't have to be high dollar, high end to be collectible. I mean, let's face it, I think it's pretty cool. So, all right, well, liked it or hated it, this was my Marx 490. Well, I won't call it a review because really it's not a review. Just looking at it, talking about it. Good points, its bad points. Now I'll just tell you that every train in this room has its good points and its bad points. Okay, so don't let that discourage you if this is what you're interested in, or if this is what you like. So all right, guys, with that, I think I'm gonna call this all for now. If you enjoyed the video, be sure and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more shenanigans such as this, trains pulling stuff they shouldn't be pulling, you might hit the subscribe button, and I promise you will see more. The Marx is really struggling right about now to pull these cars. Really wasn't fair to ask it to, because it was never designed to. So with that, take that with a grain of salt, right? All right, guys, until next time, peace.